There has always been something going on in Calradia. You're never without threats, battles, or decisions to make. Mount and Blade has been one of those games that has somehow survived the decade because of this mechanic. And yes, it has been a decade of Mount and Blade Warband, and that video is coming very soon. But in the single-player world, there is never-ending massive bandits hunting villagers, bands of men preying on merchant caravans, or huge armies going at it in fields of Swadia, or even lords fighting it out with the hand for a wife. No matter what part of the game you're in, there's always something happening. Whilst in Warband it was always a matter of where it didn't really matter if you took part in these things or not. The AI would do their own journey anyway. They'd go about these things that the players could as well. But it wasn't quite as advanced as we're going to be seeing in Bannerlord. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the new campaign AI. But as we've already looked into it a bit previously, specifically the hostile or defensive actions of the AI that help create Calradia that we'll all be experiencing in March of 2020. Just like the player, NPC lords spend much of their time travelling and traversing the campaign map as they go around their business in Bannerlord. These NPCs are bound by many of the same restrictions and rules of the player, which, is great because in Warband they sort of had that little bit of a good old-fashioned cheaty AI syndrome that we saw in many of the games around that time. I know Age of Empires was a big problem for this. The old Age of Empires AI had that cheaty AI syndrome and was often able to do things that couldn't necessarily actually happen when it came to the players in the game themselves. But the NPC lords not only create and react to the events in the world, but they can also perform many of the actions that the players are required to do to maintain their party and ultimately progress through the game. These things will most likely vary from recruiting, but places with bad relationships will not offer them as many troops to them as, places with good relationships. These restrictions that the player also has. They have to also keep the army fed or their troops can desert. Also linking in the fact that players can mess with this, attacking caravans or blocking trade routes of the AI, stopping or slowing the economy for the AI, meaning that they won't be able to get the resources to create and sustain these big armies. Now the NPC lords will need to visit the settlements to restock their supplies, recruit fresh troops and ransom prisoners. AI lords will also stop there for rest and keep their party happy. This happens when they've been hard in battle or even just exploring the world and out there for extended periods of time. NPC lords will also help their allies in towns and fiefs going to defend it if it's under threat, but additionally if a party's needs have been met, and there aren't any other pressing matters to attend to, the AI lords will lead their troops on patrol around the clan settlements, prioritizing the ones that have hostile troops have been spotted in the vicinity recently. Now, I think this is really cool, and it adds an extra step and precautions that you as a player are going to have to take when it comes to attacking the enemy AI, or even just in their territory. If you are already hostile to the AI, they will get the word and make sure you don't come back, making it much harder to go onto those, warband pillaging sprees, as the first village that you might get away with plundering, but then the AI will send out an army to patrol the area surrounding, so making sure you don't get any more villages than you can possibly take. The NPCs will also go into settlements to defend if needs be, but this is not always the case. They're not gonna just send AI lords and parties and loads of men to sacrifice just to defend a small little place. The AI are less likely to defend or risk armies if they don't think that, there's a chance of them winning that battle, or if it's not a particularly important settlement for them to keep. But this works vice versa, adding in much more risk to besieging stages of important cities like the capitals, so make sure you're watching your back. But what about raiding? The thing that is famous for being incredibly prosperous, and let's be honest, the quickest and easiest way to get a ton of money in the mid-game in Warband. When looking at enemy settlements, the lords will check to see how valuable the production of the settlement is, as well the strength of the settlement. In addition to this, the lord will consider the relations between the clans and that of the owner of the settlement, favouring to attack ones that they have been feuding with. Finally, a lord may decide to raid a settlement that is actually providing supplies to the connected castles surrounding, so the castle is actually their true target. But maybe if they raid a settlement that's around it, that's going to provide some issues for that castle, stopping resources and things getting in, making it easier for the besieging term in the future. So the AI is actually looking further into the future with indirect attacking rather than solely just on the initial damage it can do by raiding a settlement. Now, I did quickly mention in the defending part of the AI's involvement that they had to look at the chances of winning certain engagements before they made decisions, and this is no different when it comes to actually besieging settlements themselves. If the AI is confident that they can succeed with the attack, they will then find a suitable target for them to besiege. This can once again be chosen by their relations with the faction, the distance of the settlement itself, and of course the numbers garrisoned there. Now, this final bit goes from, hey, that's pretty cool that the AI can do that. That'll, add to my gameplay, as I'm sure many of you are thinking right now in your intelligent minds. But it sort of turns that and goes to, right, okay, this is going to be a little bit more of a step up from Warband, a little bit more hardcore. You're not going to be able to just waltz around killing everybody. This is where the AI parties, if they think that someone around them is being a bit too close for comfort, just overstaying their welcome in certain bits of territory, not only will it reduce your popularity with them, but they'll also proceed to pursue you or the hostile army around. Furthermore, running a little too close to vulnerable settlements will also cause patrolling parties to get your number and even send out other parties to chase you safely away from those fights. It's gonna be pretty intense. But that's it. That is the last developer blog for 2019. I know it's kind of sad. 2019 really has been the year of Bannerlord developer blogs. They started doing these once a week and it was great. Great content for the channel. Then as soon as the game got a release date, Tail was sort of dropped off a bit, but it doesn't matter because we got the beta that we're going to be playing over Christmas. Well, at least some of us do. But if you don't and you are missing out, then there may be a Bannerlord video that may go up on Christmas Day if you're lucky. But I will also keep Bannerlord gameplay videos coming out in the foreseeable future of the beta until, of course, the main game is released. But January begins my countdown to the release of Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord, and boy, I cannot wait for it. So far, it's going to be one heavily edited episode of Warband each week, and one episode a week of a new series, sort of showcasing some of the great mods that we've got over the 10 years of Warband, all leading up to the release date of Bannerlord. But apart from that, I really hope you all have a great Christmas, and I'll be seeing you very, very soon when my year review comes out that I've managed to keep up since 2017, so we're doing pretty well so far. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, I will see you in the next one.